Sabor Astrology with T and Shay, a podcast for the soul. Today, we'll be talking about how to balance life in alignment with the current cosmic energies. And without further ado, I love to pass la taza to T. Welcome, T.
Thank you. Thank you, Shay. It's so good to be here with everyone again today. So we're going to get to these transits. And this is from August 2nd to August 8th. And I think what is important here, I don't know, I just already I'm starting here with the getting the information, is look at it from a personal point of view and journal with it, see what happens. Think about this particular next transit that we're going to be looking at is Sun in Leo squaring Jupiter in Taurus, Friday, August 4th to Sunday, August 6th. And what that means for you, take a little time to journal that out and to see how it transpires in your life, to make it more personal. So it's not just something that you're hearing. It's like, wow, how did this go? It's like when I do the tarot cards or I do my oracle, Graciela La Gitana, that I pick out one card in the morning, I review it, and then I review it again later on to say, how did that transpire? It's just not words that are coming to me and images, but more like, oh, okay, this is what it actually meant. And then we can gain more meaning to it. So this Sun in Leo squaring Jupiter in Taurus, it is a big energy. It is an expansive energy, and things that you might have had planned or your, creative endeavors, that you already have in motion, it kind of gives you more of that inspiration, that ability to go through, to work toward it, to see it happen, things that have been within your reach. This transit also gives you the opportunity to look and see what's outside of the realm of possibilities for yourself. What have you thought about yourself? But it is bigger. It is bigger because, the cosmic environment, our universes always has something bigger in mind for us than what we have for ourselves. We're small compared to the cosmos. So that's it.
That's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Thinking about also the cosmos as a way to support us, right, during this transit. So just like if you can take some time today, and just allow yourself to just sink in with the universe and see how that feels. I think that's a great segue to this transit. This transit could be overbearing, because there might be a lot of options for us. We might find that there's too many things going on at the same time. So trying to overdo during this transit can be counterproductive. Rather, if there's a feeling of overdoing, just take a step back, right? Think about it and reflect on it. It's important to create balance during this time. So it's super essential right now, and replacing feelings of overwhelm with ease. So that can be, just like I mentioned, being supported by the universe, doing meditations where you feel physically supported. And that can ease this energy that Jupiter brings in, which is a lot going on, good things, of course, and sometimes a lot, like a rush of things. So bringing in some balance there for this transit.
Yeah, I love that. Lean into the universe. Let the universe support you. Like, even
Yes.
if you can think of it as a physical manifestation of support, how can I actually lean in? How is that cosmos going to support me? So that's very beautiful. Just the feeling of it, just the thought of it is supporting. The next transit that we're going to talk about is Mercury in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces. Actually, the next three transits I'm going to talk about are Mercury. Mercury's quick, right? We already know Mercury's a lot, right? Mercury's here. Mercury's in our thoughts. Mercury has us going from, thought to action, like, let's get this thing done. And then you have Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn's like, whoa, hold up a minute. Let's just make sure that everything is ready. Let's make sure that everything is right. And, I've talked about it before. It's like having your dad at home. It reminds me of having my dad. And my dad is like, no, 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 you're not doing this right now. And I'm like, yes, I am. I am ready, right? I am 16. I am 17. I know what I want, And dad energy is like, kind of chill a little bit here because you're really not ready, And then when you look back at it, it's like, whoa, dad was right. So think about that in terms of Saturn and Pisces. So things may seem unclear to you. That's okay. You know, Mercury and Virgo, that's giving you the opportunity to work on the details, the fine details of what you are working on right now, what it is that is your dream, what is your beautiful dream, right? So you can just kind of be in the middle, sit in the cosmos, as we were talking about before, and just allow things to happen more at a natural pace than what Mercury and Virgo is bringing to us.
I love the child and father-child dynamic here, because this transit reminds me so much of the archetype in the tarot of the knights versus the kings, and the aspect of the knights being like Mercury, like wanting to run in their horses, try new things. You know, they go for it. And then you have Saturn, which is the archetype of, if you can think about it as the kings, which is like more slow, more assertive. They have mastered some level of understanding of where they are. I mean, they had to go through Mercury, through the knights, but they learned so much, and now they're able to just sit in their throne here. So this is a great transit for focusing and concentration. So if you want to get things done, if you have a to-do list, like I am a fan of planners. That's my thing. I don't know why, but I love planners and stationery stuff. And I love to sit down and like literally plan everything, write things down. Even the act of writing can help focus and concentrate. It slows down the thought process and our thought forms, so we can be more sharp in the mind. Putting the mind to do our to-do list, or I'm saying even like errands. And if we have errands and things that we don't get done, is okay, because with Saturn there is delays, there is a slowing down. It's a little bit of opposed to the last transit we just spoke about, where it's like going, right? This one is more about stopping and then going. I received a suggestion that will be breath work, and there's a spiritual composer that I love and enjoy, and her name is Shiva Rasa. She's super, I feel, magical, and she has an amazing beginner's breath work on Spotify. I will be linking that below in the description box, and I would say listen to it. And it feels like you're literally in the cosmos and you're just breathing in with her, and the music is just like so beautiful. So I'll put that down for all of us to take in for this transit.
It sounds great. That sounds like calming already, and I haven't even heard it yet. So the next transit is Mercury in Virgo, is conjunct Mars in Virgo. And think that this is, like right after this last transit, right, from Friday to Sunday. So think about Mars and Mercury sitting together. They're sitting next to each other, right? So we just talked about that night and that energy of the king, right? So it's like wisdom, the intellect, the mind, the thought process, as opposed to the action that like wants to get this thing done. Now, Mars and Mercury have something to offer each other. If they can just sit next to each other long enough, right, to say, okay, let's talk this through. Let's not just dive into action. Give them equal footing. Strategize what you'd like to see happening. That would help things come more into fruition than, like going in with a whoop and a holler and saying, but this is what's going to happen. No, you can do that, but why not just like take a step back? I feel like this is what we're doing here, right? We're talking about a lot of that this morning. It's just like, do what you're doing, but just like, what is that saying? Easy does it, but do it. Right. So yeah, so that's what I have to say about Mercury and Virgo conjuncting Mars and Virgo.
With this next transit, Mercury and Virgo conjunct Mars, from August 4th to August 6th. This is a great transit to, of course, get your to-do list, your errands done. It's a rather good time also to connect to what we want to actively learn. And I add actively because Mars is about action. So it's what we want to actively learn. Maybe it's just something that we wanted to learn a long time ago. And now this is a transit that will encourage us to move forward in that process. A shadow side to this transit is defensiveness in conversations or rushing to make a point. So maybe we're having a conversation with someone, they express their opinion, and then we go and try to counteract that or counter battle that. And it's best to just listen in to what people have to say without it being defensive or having to defend someone's point. And is essential again for balance during this transit. It's important also to think before speaking, and also to, if you have nothing or we collectively don't have anything nice to say, not to say it during this time. Use our words meticulously and with a goal and purpose for the betterment of our connections, our conversations, rather than it being like this pull of fighting and disagreeing.
Great. I feel like all of the transits are just helping us this week, like they're all working hand in hand together, and that they're all of them, they may seem as though they're a little counterpointing, that they're actually all working together. So the next one is Mercury in Virgo trines Jupiter in Taurus. That's Monday, August 7th to Wednesday, August 9th. Again, quick thinking, sharp mind, benefits all of, anything that you happen to be constructing or assembling in your life right now. Jupiter lends to that. It's in Taurus. So let Taurus help you to ground, help you to think things through. Again, it's the same message. How many times can we get this message, right? But like take time to think about what happens, but also don't sit in it too long either, right? Make things happen, grab onto this opportunity. This trine is an opportunity for you to make things happen.
Absolutely. And it's about, like T mentioned, just not letting it be a stagnation, but put some action into it. That's a perfect segue into how this transit can also bring in excitement to learn and positive thinking. So the possibilities are open, but most importantly, importantly is such a word today for me, is discernment. To ground the Jupiter, discernment of what it is that is exciting us. What is it that's making us creating positive thoughts and thinking in that way? Pick up something new to learn. Again, very similar to the previous transit. I received learning about plants or start a garden of your own that can later on possibly become a hobby. So maybe a garden at some point, or learning about the plants, of going out wherever you're living. New York City right now, it's super hot, but even going out to a place that's full of nature and looking at the plants and feeling the plants and learning and building a connection with them, because there's a connection to Virgo here, which in Taurus, which is all about earth. So that can help us balance as well in this week.
Perfect. So the next sun transit that we're looking at is Venus, that is in retrograde. Remember, she's in retrograde, so she's going to be there. She wants you to reread those contracts. She's in Leo, and she's conjuncting Mercury in Leo. So there's Venus and Mercury are sitting together, and Venus is working hand in hand to make things happen, to make those thoughts manifested, whether it's buying a house, whether it's finishing up that application to go to school, which will eventually work out in your business life, or a business contract. So look at that, take time with looking at the contracts that you're working with, reread them. Mercury may be saying, yeah, let's go. I want to get this business deal done. I want to buy that house. But Venus is saying, yeah, that's your home. That's going to be your home. So make sure that you know what you're doing. Maybe you want to walk back in again and look at it and see what that layout looks like. Is that really going to be, that apartment layout, the room layout? Is that something that you're going to want to live with? Rather than just looking in and seeing, Leo is like, oh, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous, right? There's this like huge fireplace there in that room. And, And Venus is like, well, yeah, it is, but are you going to be, able to handle that? Will you be able to afford the maintenance coming in to check the flue, to do the chimney work, like those sorts of things. So again, it's crossing your T's, dotting your I's, and making sure what it is that you're looking out to do is done well. What they
It's
say,
such a big
hasten is waste, right?
reassessment.
What's that?
Yes. And it's such a big reassessment um, of what, our homes, everything. It's a big reassessment, and it's good. It's good to do that. It's like checking in with ourselves. It's beautiful. And also planning our finances during this time. It doesn't have to be set in stone. It could just be a plan. It could be a start. I'm also getting here for this transit, talking to women or people who identify as women that are around us. They'll have something important to say to us, whether it be guidance or whether it be information that they'll like to share with us, or vice versa. And there's an appreciation of the beauty that's within rather than the external beauty. It's the beauty within. Work with this transit to connect, replan, reassess, and appreciate the beauty of things, but most importantly, the self, because Venus is retrograde. So there's a look within, and the crevices, our heart, our body, that we can look in and find the beauty at this very moment. And it's a mercurial week. So it's a very mental week. That's what I mean by that. So it's important to connect the mind now to the heart and balance those things out for ourselves.
Beautiful. And our next transit is Mars in Virgos, trines Jupiter in Taurus, and that's Sunday. That's actually from July 30th, which is like started a couple of days ago, to Wednesday, August 2nd. So it's kind of like on the cusp here, right? It's like in the middle. But again, it's like lending that energy to dotting your I's, crossing your T's. Try not to be overcritical though, or too consumed with getting all your ducks in an order, which may sound a little contrary to what we were talking about before, but it's the lead-in. So in order to create balance, Taurus is there, and you might take a hike, right? Like literally take a hike, like literally walk among the flowers, walk among the trees, ground yourself. And when we do that, we like realize that Mother Nature is bigger than we are, right? We were talking about the cosmos before, so that we can fight for what we want. We can say, this is what I want. I'm going to be, like doing this thing. And then, Taurus is like, okay, let's just take our time here and let's wait for that bud to bloom. Let's wait for that tomato to ripen, right? We're not just going to pull it off when it's green because we're ready to eat tomatoes, unless we're going to have fried green tomatoes, right? We're going to, we're going to wait. We're going to wait until it's nice and red and it's ripe and the timing is right. And the other thought that I got with this is that I guess in everything that we're talking about here right now today is that a lot of traditions allow for mistakes to happen too, so that spirit can come in and spirit can get in and do what spirit needs to do, right? If we try to perfect everything too much, is how I think about Mars and Virgo. It's like, let's be, like, let's make this thing happen this way, exactly this, not. Which is a good thing to be detail oriented, but it's also like, wait a second, is there a higher power here? Is there Mother Nature? Is there something that's bigger than me that knows what is for my highest good?
That's beautiful. Like the aspect of feeling like we can make mistakes and it doesn't have to all be perfect is definitely a lesson for us, and with Venus and all these planets, and working in that, understanding that and learning that. I think that's super interesting. This transit also aid us in really carrying our actions with precision and with high energy vibration. So it helps us to catapult ourselves. And if you're thinking about meeting with like a business associate during this day, no, this is a good day to have those business conversations and finalize like the small details, And this is a good time for good action and good vibes. So to have that into play for all of us, and shake the hand of the business associate or in your relationships with loving kindness. And that is the energy for this transit.
Perfect. Perfect. So I don't know if I'm going to introduce Ginger to the podcast because
Yeah.
Ginger was barking. My little,
Hi,
I want to
baby.
sing. She's a Leo, right? She's a Leo
Cute.
line.
The hair.
She started barking, and I said, let me just put her on my lap and let's see what we can do here. I think she wants to be part of this because we're talking so much about Leo. We're in Leo season, and this little girl is a Leo,
Okay,
beyond
little
beyond.
pom-pom. She's so cute.
You want to say hello? Oh, no, not really. She was asleep. She's so hairy right now.
Oh.
So the last one is that we're going to talk about today is Sun in Leo, this little girl, which is sextiling Ceres in Libra, and that's from August 1st to August 4th. That's from a Tuesday to a Friday. So the thought that I got with this is that the dramatic you is encouraged to break bread with people in your circle that you love or people that you are just getting to know that maybe you are gonna love. And I don't mean particularly, it doesn't have to be a sexual relationship, but it's just people who like speak to your heart, right? So that remember that when you're at the table and you're sharing food and you're sharing drinks, that everyone at that table shines brightly. It's not just about me, the dramatist Leo, which is a beautiful part about Leo. Like they just are radiant, they bring love in the room. But that everyone sits at the table and everyone has a place, right? And everyone gets to say what they need to say. So bring Demeter, mother, right? Ceres, her energy into the to the table, and think about her as Persephone, right? Mother of Persephone, who brought equality, right? So we have the seasons because of all the pain and all the darkness and the light that she brought, that they brought to us. So think about that in terms of equal footing, equal transactions. I mean, it's so interesting because, when I learned how to do readings, it was like everything that is happening at that time is what needs to come into the reading. So I have my little dog here and she's barking, which is like, it's going to be on the podcast, right? But she's saying, like, listen to the doggy too, like, listen to everybody. We all have a place at the table. So that's the message that I'm bringing with this Leo, Sun in Leo, sextiling Ceres in Libra.
Yeah, and continuing with the symbol of the table, if you can think about a table has four legs and it has the top part. So it's about that support that we can have with the people around us. And specifically, I'm getting here creative endeavors. Like that table can be our space to create. And I've heard someone say this before, many say this before, that creations happen and creativity can happen within a box, right? And we can think about the table as being a container to hold our creativity. So Ceres is the physical manifestation of support, is a symbol of the table, which is community. So us coming into community for creative endeavors, and try to do that as best as you can. And for us collectively as well during this transit, and see how it feels. Meet other people in this during this transit will be super good for us and healthy.
Beautiful. So yeah, so that's our those are our transits for the week. And as always, like, share, distribute, subscribe, send us your comments, your questions. What would you like to know? Would you like us to do a chart about anyone in particular? And we would love to do that. We'd love to present that. So let us know what it is that you want, as we go forward with this podcast.
And thank you everyone for tuning in to Sabor Astrology, episode 12. Remember that T and I are always available for questions. So you can always go down to the description box and contact us. And we are also available for spiritual astrology and healing consultations. So feel free to, again, go down to the description box and, like T mentioned, like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next episode con mucho, mucho sabor. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Sabor Astrology with T and Shay. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.